everybody. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. How y'all doing? Let me know if you can hear me over there in the chat room before I just keep on talking to myself. Awesome. So thank you so much for kind of choosing me over the game. Has anybody got their eye on the game? How's it going? I'm not watching this year. It's crazy. You want to know a secret? I don't even know who's playing this year. I know it's not the Packers, and I know it's not the Cardinals, and that's all that matters. Yeah. So Baltimore's winning. For a minute, I thought you said Baltimore was whining. But, well, that'll make Eileen happy if Baltimore's winning. Yeah, see? There she goes. Oh, the 49ers? Oh, gee, I should have known that. I have some major 49ers friends. Good deal. So what's the score? See how close you guys are paying attention. See, I don't need to watch it. I can just come here and ask you guys and get all caught up. 21-3 or 17-3. Okay, I got conflicting reports. Anyway, it sounds like somebody's getting trumped. 21-3 at halftime. That's not really a game. Okay, we won't go there. Actually, Cardinals is Arizona. Arizona Cardinals. I was an Arizona girl. See, in Nevada, we don't get to have a football team. I never thought that was fair, but we don't get to have our own sports teams. So I have to choose a team from other places that I've lived. So I go for Arizona. Oh, see, things change. What do I know? All right, guys, so January's over. It's over. Gone. Bye-bye. It's February. Groundhog has spoken, or actually he's looked and he saw did he see a shadow or not see a shadow? No. He saw his shadow, right? See, I get so confused. Whatever it is, no shadow. Thank you. So no shadow means we're in for an early spring. I have mixed emotions about that because long winter means our first quarter sales kind of keep going because people are stuck in front of their computers because it's snowing or cold and all that stuff. So an early spring is gonna bring on the slow season a little faster. So just be prepared. It's a mixed blessing because oh my gosh, I so want warm weather. I really, really do. So, looks like we're having a couple little issues with chat. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. It's usually just a server issue, usually on your end. Mine, cross fingers, knock wood, all that good stuff is running smoothly. I'm now on priority status with my cable company. That's called being the squeaky wheel. I have a cell phone number directly to a technician that anytime I have an issue, I call, they look, they fix it. Trying to figure out why they have to keep fixing it. But anyway, I'll take it. They don't want to lose my service. So, okay, so January's over. So how many of you that made New Year's resolutions are still holding true to those? How many of you are keeping up with your New Year's resolutions? I know I'm seeing your chat. If you guys are typing in, I'm seeing it. I don't know what's going on. So we got didn't make any, don't do any. Okay. Some of you still hanging in. Most of you didn't make any. That's interesting. So some little statistics I pulled up. 25% of New Year's resolutions are broken in the first week. Surprise. You know, because it's kind of like a fashionable thing to do is to make some resolutions. And then 80% drop off within 8 weeks. So, resolutions don't work. But what does work, you guys, what does work, and what we're going to talk a little bit about today is goals, setting goals. planning over at the Appsters, which is what the members of the Danni App are called. They're called Appsters. I don't even know how that happened, but that's what they are. We are working on mapping. Basically, we're doing the Danni Map, which is a sort of a business plan for eBay sellers. And we're right now, we've just started, and we're doing the fun parts. You know, we're doing the dreaming first. Dreaming and kind of looking at our numbers. So many people don't know what their numbers are. And I have to confess, hand raised here, I knew roundabout what my numbers were. I track, my sales and my ASP and all of that good stuff. I know what I'm spending on stuff. I know what I'm selling it for. I know I'm making money per item and all that good stuff. I know all that. What I didn't have up until this year, I just started this, up until this year, I didn't know what my profits exactly were. I was guessing. I was estimating. I was doing all this bad stuff. And you don't want to do that. And this is my year to get that all under control. I'm using spreadsheets now, tracking everything that I buy and sell. And I'm doing that through what we call a VA, or a virtual assistant. I have hired someone to help me keep track of all that. And I can look at my numbers every single month, see where I'm at, see where I need to cut types of things that I'm selling because they're not making any money, and get more of other things. Anyway, so we're doing a lot of planning, a lot of goal setting, a lot of that kind of stuff, because more and more it's becoming important. So many more people, whereas you may have started eBay as something fun and a hobby, just a little extra income, more and more people are becoming dependent on their eBay income and really need to make that money. And you need to make a certain amount. My gosh, the bills keep coming in. They don't stop, do they? They don't give us a break. How many would like just a month even of no bills? Just, all the utility companies and the mortgage or the rent, they'd all say, hey, free pass. We're just going to give you a month off. Wouldn't that be cool? I know. That'd be a fun thing. Because then we could all get caught up. So I'm no different than you guys. It's that the bills pile up. I got to pay them. It's just that's a fact of life. But I have noticed in my business that what I have to do, because I'm spending more and more time working with the Appsters and writing and all that stuff, I need to spend less time actually listing. But yet I still need the same amount of sales to come in, so I have to list higher priced items. And I'm kind of going through my store and looking and going, gosh, why am I selling that? And cutting stuff that's been in there for a long time. I just went from 800 listings is what I had, down to, I'm back up to 500, but I cut 400 things out of my store, which was really hard. It was kind of like a little, knife in the heart. I'm a little attached to the things that I list because, gosh darn it, I know those were good things when I listed them. Why aren't they selling? We're all there. But I'm going to have a big old honkin' yard sale here pretty soon. Make back some money. Take that money and invest it in only things that are going to sell for big money. And for big, my goal, I'm working up to it. My goal by the end of the year is I only want to have items that are going to sell for $100 plus. That's the goal. So I'm shooting for a $50 average selling price by mid-year. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get there. I don't know. The buying is so much fun. When you see stuff that is going to sell, it's so hard, to pass it by. So Lynn asks, don't you think you need smaller valued items to lead some people into the store? Good question. So let's look at an example of something like Tiffany's. Is there anything cheap at Tiffany's? It's all relative. So what I'm hoping to accomplish is that when people come to my store, they're coming there because they are looking for things of high quality. And the things, this is where it gets tricky, is I want to still have those $100 plus items, but still have them be a good value and a bargain to the people shopping for those things. So it's going to be a balancing act. I really don't want to spend the time listing anything for sure under 30 bucks. Looking at my numbers, and I just did this today, Karen Locker has the most awesome spreadsheet for eBay sellers. And I regret that I don't have the link to point you over there. Maybe April has it. But what it showed me was even an item that I'm selling for, say, $25, by the time you pay eBay fees and you ship it and you add in your time, and see, this is where most people are falling short. You are not accounting for your time to list that item. I'm only making, under 10 bucks for that item, which to me, not worth the time. I want to really use my time wisely and build up to those more expensive things. So it may end up that while the majority of my items are $100 plus, I still have, say, $50 items in there, which would then be my lower priced items. Does that make sense? And I'll still run those loss leaders and start things at lower prices at auction. And so, yeah, they may sell for well under my goal. But the target is to get better and better sales coming in without spending that extra time. That's my personal goal. Everybody has to set the goals that work best for them, which is one of the big things we're working on. So speaking of keeping track of numbers and goals and profits and expenses and accounting and all that stuff. So Outright.com is definitely an easy way to keep track of a lot of those numbers. They don't do it all. I'm going to tell you that right now. You still need to do the work and keep track of things like your costs of goods sold and add a few things in there. But I can tell you that before I got Outright.com, I didn't have really anything kept track of. I was a mess. Since getting Outright.com, I know that pretty much my numbers are there. When I go to do my taxes, it's way, way easier to fill in those numbers, actually print out my Schedule C from them. So big advocate of Outright.com because they pull the information right from your PayPal, your bank accounts, whatever you attach to them, they'll keep track of it for you. So that was a big goal that I had last year, is getting that all under control, and I'm happy to say I did that. Another thing is, I forget sometimes the information that not everybody knows. I was talking to my daughter the other day. So many of you, since you're out going to yard sales, going to thrift stores, wherever, keep track of your mileage, you guys. Your mileage on your car is a write-off. You want to take that off of your profit showing at the end of the year for taxes. I mean, it's 55 cents a mile. That's going to add up pretty darn fast. My daughter didn't know she could do that. She's totally jazzed now. Yeah, so Sherry says she keeps a book in her car for the mileage. Really great idea. There are mobile apps that you can set when you're taken off, and it will track through GPS how many miles you go. It's pretty advanced now of keeping track of this stuff, but definitely something, because we don't want to pay any more taxes on our stuff than we have to. Let's face it. I'm not a fan of the IRS. So take every deduction you can. Figure out what percentage of your home you're using for your eBay business and take pictures so that you have proof that you're using that. If you ever get audited, you show those pictures. Yep, this part of my house is used for eBay. If your dining room table is full of eBay inventory, take a picture of it, keep a log, and have that ready to go. your whole house has business stuff, well, you kind of have to dedicate a percentage. I don't think they're going to buy the whole house. You have to dedicate a certain amount of square footage, but that's totally a write-off. Totally. Do it. If you go to eBay on Locations or the eBay radio party or the Tucson conference that's coming up, that's a write-off. That's a business expense. Yep, it costs money to go and do those things, but you get to take it off of your profits so that you're not paying taxes on that much more. Definitely. And speaking of Tucson, like that segue, who's going to Tucson? Anybody going to Tucson? That is coming up on March 23rd. Too far away. Okay. I get that. And I don't know if April can type this in. She's having some issues, so let me see if I can remember the URL. There we go. There you go. There it is. You can go over there. It's $45, you guys. $45 to register. It includes an entire day of speakers, including people like Griff and eBay Andy and Sharon Ware, who's really, really great with store design and all that kind of stuff. Sally Milo is kind of heading this whole thing. She is my designer for my store. She's kind of a genius in that area. There's going to be so many great people there. Sandy Garcia is going to be there that a lot of you know. This is going to be a really, really fun event. And it's happening March 23rd in Tucson. And that $45 also includes your lunch. So really a killer deal. There is an airport directly to fly into Tucson. So here's the other thing, you guys. Tucson is my old hometown. I know it very well. I know all the great spots to go shopping. I'm going to be there before and after the event, and I will be lining up some shopping trips for anybody that wants to go shopping with me. I will take you to the great places to shop in Tucson. I miss Tucson. I used to find some really killer stuff there. So if anybody is making their plans to go to Tucson, keep in mind, don't go home right away, or maybe plan on coming in the day before, and we'll plan some fun stuff. But definitely check that out. Go and register as soon as you can. It's going to be an awesome event. eBay is behind this event 100%, so I look for some really cool stuff coming that way. It's going to be limited as to the amount of people who are going to be allowed to register, so don't drag your feet too long. Go ahead and get signed up. Yay. All right, so postage rates. I have my notes, you guys. I have to keep on target here. So last week we went all crazy about the new postage rates and panicking a little bit. So has anybody had any repercussions negatively from that? Have your customers been unhappy? Nope. Nope. So what I'm seeing is a lot of people are really worried about international and how the international sales are just going to stop and, nobody's going to buy. Not happening. In fact, today I sold 2 things international. They've already paid. No problem. I'm telling you, these people, I think the way that the international people shop is knowing that they are going to have to pay. And they've probably been very surprised that their shipping rates have not been what they expected. So now they're just up kind of where they expected, because they know what it costs to ship something to us. So they're expecting the same thing back. So you guys, don't worry. I don't think we're really going to have a huge issue. Now, if you guys don't have calculated shipping, okay, so Beth is saying that the actual eBay calculator undercharged I would probably be right on eBay's butt about that one and show some screenshots of what the customer paid based on the calculator. I think if enough of us plowed them with that, that would get fixed very fast, because that's not cool. The calculator has been working for the listings that have sold for me, so bummer that happened, Beth. And yeah, there's always going to be glitches when they make these changes, but for the most part, you guys, it is not going to stop international sales, so don't even worry. Keep on chugging. So there was a webinar this week that was put on by both stamps.com and bubblefast.com. Did any of you guys see that? Anybody get to the webinar? Cool. So in case you didn't get to it or you wanted to go and review some of those things, April has put the link there on the screen. You can go and check that out again. Really, really great information, spells it all out. But again, there's no need to panic on all of this. Stamps.com has also put out a new rate guide with all the updated changes, and April's going to put that up on the screen. And just there it is. Nope, not that one, April. It's the next one, the rate guide. I throw all these links at poor April. She has to keep them all straight. That one there that she has up, that lets you know your time value of going to the post office. Let's see if she can find the other one. There it is. This is the 2013 USPS postage rate increase guide put out by stamps.com. So take note of that. You can print that out and kind of keep track of it as you're doing your listings, especially if those of you who are doing free shipping, which I hope most of you are. It lets you kind of know the differences that those prices are going to be compared to what you were used to, so that you are making sure your profit margins are allowing for that. That's where it comes in really handy. I'm sure you'll memorize them in no time. All right, last but not least, if you guys don't have a stamps.com account, it is free for eBay sellers, and anything you import from eBay over to stamps.com, that's all included for free, including international, parcel select, and that includes first class international as well. So there's no reason not to have a stamps.com account if you guys don't have one. It's a really great backup, even if it's not something you want to use every day. I do use my stamps.com account. I love stamps.com. Also, in that webinar, you would have seen information from Bubblefast. As you know, I'm a huge fan of bubblefast.com. Got my order this week. I loved getting my order this week because I had these two big, huge boxes. And I'm watching the FedEx guy, like, get the dolly out and getting all ready. And, like, he goes, oh, these are really light. I'm like, bubble wrap. So I got my order this week, and I just wanted to read this because, you know, you guys, I'm running the show and I'm talking, and yep, they are a sponsor of the Danni app, and so it's a little jaded. But this is from a customer. This is from a first-time purchaser of the Bubblefast bubble packaging. She says, just received my bubble wrap from Bubblefast. I ordered on National Bubble Wrap Day. I can get wrap from Sam's Club much cheaper than I can from Bubblefast. And I hear a lot of you guys talking about, yeah, it's expensive. So I can now see them side by side. All I can say is, wow. The bubbles from Sam's are about 50% filled with air. The backing of Bubblefast roll is very thick ply and durable. Sam's doesn't even compare. Sam's feels like saran wrap in comparison. Nothing against saran wrap for food. I love that. It really does not, it really does look like I will use much less bubble wrap with Bubble Fast bubble wrap than I would with Sam's per package. While I still cringe at the price difference from a strictly sticker price perspective, I think I'll actually save money in the long run with Bubble Fast product. If you're hesitant about trying Bubble Fast bubble wrap due to cost like I was, don't be. Try a roll. It's amazing stuff. The bubble wrap from Stamps, I always do that. The bubble wrap from bubblefast.com wouldn't even fit in the Sam's box, which was supposed to be the same amount of linear feet. I condensed that little. She went into all the specifics on that. So that alone tells me something. While I don't have as much linear feet, it's not going to take as much product to do the job. And that is what I've been telling you guys, but I wanted you to hear it from an actual customer. Because I'm telling you, the quality, when you get it in your hands, you're totally going to get it. Totally going to get it. And it's way cheaper than if you buy it at the store retail, for sure. Absolutely. What's the difference between using Stamps.com and Octane, George? Stamps.com is actually incorporated into Octane. Octane manages your whole shipping process. So with Octane, I'm using a service called Express One, which is included in the Octane price, and then you add a Stamps.com account. So now what you get is the absolute cheapest rate to mail something that comes up whenever you're printing out that postage. It's going to put in the least expensive way to go, whether that be the priority or through Express One or Stamps.com, which sometimes is cheaper. It's so complicated, this whole shipping thing now, I swear. But and then Octane will send the feedback to my buyers when I hit that ship button. They print out my scan forms. The history is all in there. So that's why I use Octane. But it still has my Stamps.com account attached to it. So that's how that works. And we can show that on a Danni Appster class. Okay, who's ready for some scores? Some fun stuff this week. Call them super scores this week. Since it's Super Bowl week, we'll have super scores. So this first one, I was actually with Martha when she bought this. Or actually, I think I told her, you got to buy this. Because she does a lot of things in the niche of coffee pots, teapots, espresso sets, things related to Turkish coffee. That's kind of her specialty. So when I'm shopping with Martha, because she lives here in Vegas and we're buddies, I just happen to look for that kind of stuff for her. So this is item number, did I even write this down? Okay, 2711 3910 4504. And again, it was just kind of a nondescript looking little teapot, but it had kind of an unusual look to it. So we had a 50% off coupon, and it was marked $2.99. So she paid about $1.50 for this. In less than a week, she accepted a best offer for $61, and it was from an Australian buyer who also paid the shipping. So way to go, Martha, way to go. Those are the profit margins we want to be turning over. Joanne had picked up a Lego set. Legos are pure gold, you guys. Pick up Lego sets. Whenever the price is right, pick up Legos. Legos, Lego sets, Legos. Gold. This one is item number 1609 6766 5123. She picked this up at a church thrift store for $4, and it sold for best offer of $62. $4 into $62. I will take that any day. All right, let's keep going. The group is full. By the way, you guys, in case you don't know, over on the Danni App group over on Facebook, every Sunday we have a thread that is our Score Sunday. and everybody shares all these really great scores that they say where they bought them and how much they paid, and then how they sold it, whether it sold at auction format or with best price or fixed price. Everybody's super willing to share, and thank you guys for being willing to do that. That's awesome. It's really, really motivational to see that stuff is still bringing really good prices, and I think everybody needs that little boost every week. Especially those that are having slow sales, being able to look and see, oh my gosh, I passed one of those up at the thrift store last week. I had no idea that was a great item to sell. So this really can give you some inspiration when you're out shopping and to find some different stuff that'll kind of boost your sales and lift your spirits. All right. So what do we have? Let's see. Okay. So we have Sherry bought a 70-piece set of Vernonware, dinnerware. She paid $34.99 at a Salvation Army. She has split this up into 20 different listings, and this is something for those of you who want to do dinnerware and you run into a lot of high quality sets, and the thrift stores lots of times they sell these all as a set. And if you can get a good price, like she paid $35 basically for this entire set of 70 pieces, you don't have to sell this all as a set. You sell this by breaking it up piece by piece, just like a place like replacements.com does. Put a price per piece. If it's worth it, go for it, because it's really easy listing. You list the first piece that you have, and then it's sell similar and change the piece and the price depending on what it is. Easy, easy, easy to do sell similar, sell similar, sell similar, and get it all listed in virtually no time at all and make huge profits. So in this case, she is well over $300 so far. Here's one of the listings: 3805 6464 8736. And yeah, this is the sugar and creamer, and she took a best offer of $40 on just this one. I mean, just the sugar and creamer paid for all of it. Everything else she sells, it's gravy. Dinnerware can be really, really profitable. Now, a little tip too. If you're selling something where you're making multiple listings of similar pieces that kind of go together, think about this. If you're using free shipping and somebody comes in and buys more than one of your lots, extra profits. If they come in and make a best offer, because they kind of know, some customers are savvy and they will make the offer based on the fact that they know they're buying several pieces you're going to ship together. You still know that you have all that wiggle room. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win no matter how you slice it. Okay, we have Lynn Moss. I don't know if I'm saying your last name right. She paid $3 for Dorothy Thorpe, a martini pitcher. $3. Awesome. At a church rummage sale. Rummage sales are great for cheap prices, you guys. I have never been to a rummage sale that overpriced items. I don't know what it is, but they want stuff gone. They want to make a little money. Church rummage sales. All right. So she sold it for, let me give you the item number. 3210 5961 1594. Sold for $49.99. $3 into $49.99. I'll do that all day long. Can somebody tell me, did she have free shipping on that? I didn't go over and pull that one up. Nope, she didn't. So that's $49.99 plus shipping. Nice. Yeah, Dorothy Thorpe stuff. And so somebody was asking over on the Facebook group about identifying Dorothy Thorpe. Here's the deal. Dorothy Thorpe is known for the silver banded glassware, very mid-century. It's associated with the Mad Men craze that's going on. So lots of, whoa. Whoa, I just had something really weird happen to my computer. Ah! Hope I'm still here. Okay. Um, so, Dorothy Thorpe, mid-century, hot stuff. Now, will you get in trouble for calling something Dorothy Thorpe if it's not Dorothy Thorpe? Anybody got an answer to that one? How will you get in trouble? How will you get in trouble? Tell me. Are the Dorothy Thorpe police going to come after you? Nope. Nope. You will not. You will not. Dorothy Thorpe is so vintage. The trademark is expired. You will not get in trouble for calling something Dorothy Thorpe. And this is very, very true in the antiques and collectibles market. Getting zeroed is something different. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about keyword spamming and getting things taken down because they're not actually what they are. This is going to happen on your newer items where there are still trademarks in place and the current owners of those trademarks are very, very uppity about you listing stuff. Antiques and collectibles, it's up for interpretation. And I had this discussion when Griff was out here recently. People are very, very worried about calling something that it's not. And the older the item, the less you have to worry about that. Now, where you could get into a problem is if it's not what you're calling it, and then you get somebody who buys it and goes, oh, wait, this isn't, But if you have good pictures and good description and show the item, the chances of that really, really slim, because the people that know Dorothy Thorpe beyond a shadow of a doubt wouldn't buy it unless they saw your pictures and knew that what they were buying was the real thing. So you're really not going to get into trouble. Yeah, like Sherry's saying, the knot is described. Very slight chance. If you have good pictures and good description and you're showing the item, somebody knows if they're buying Dorothy Thorpe or not. And if it's not actually Dorothy Thorpe, and then the person went ahead and bought it and got it thinking it was Dorothy Thorpe and they don't know any better, they are thrilled to pieces that they got a Dorothy Thorpe piece. So now I don't want you to intentionally deceive anybody. I mean, if you don't have a very strong inclination that something is what you're calling it, then don't call it that. But if you're torn because, gosh darn it, it matches everything I've seen about Dorothy Thorpe items and it falls into that same thing, then by all means use the term. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm not out to deceive anybody, but I also don't want you leaving money on the table by not calling something what it 99.9% very well may be. Yes. Oh no, the lights went out on the Super Bowl. Yeehaw. Maybe it's whatever that weird thing is that just happened to me too. Oh, Beyonce. Oh, yeah. All right. So I had a couple. Sales have been coming in like crazy, you guys. It is my second quarter yeehaws. I love second quarter. First quarter. First quarter. Yeah, it's getting late. First quarter yeehaws. I just wrote an article. It's going to come out this week for Outright about this. And how much, if you are selling antiques and collectibles, first quarter is definitely my favorite time of the year. Better than fourth quarter. Better than fourth quarter. Because now people are like spending money on themselves. And what does that mean? They're buying impulse items. So here's a couple of the things I've sold this week. Crazy. I had these two sets of twin sheets. They are vintage, and I picked them up because they reminded me of my grandmother's house. The pattern was roses and pearls. Item number 2211 3031 4330. That's it. And I had two of them listed. I paid $9 a piece. Sold to the same buyer, $59.95 each. So one package to mail. She bought them both, basically $120 for two sheet sets. Sweet. Okay, this was another goofy item that I threw up on a whim because I sell a lot of animal figurines and animal related stuff. This was something I picked up because it was a not your typical breed of bird. It was a puffin, and I picked it up purely because of that, because it was puffins. It's resin. It looks like a dollar store kind of material figurine, but I thought, hey, it's got a unique bird. So I get it home and I find the name on the bottom is this really famous decoy making company called Braddock Brothers. But I did pay $7 for this at the thrift store because of the quality that it was made. I figured I would get about $20 for it when I bought it. That was my thinking. So I ran it on auction. Started it at $9.95. And first let me give you the item number. 2211-8022-4865. Crazy, it brought $62 plus shipping. $62 for a crazy little bird figurine. So do not bypass those areas in the thrift store that look like it's just a bunch of cheap, figurines and tchotchkes. Pick things up, look for a name, look for something that tells you this could possibly be a little bit more than what I think it is. Yeah, who knew? I have another item up currently. It's the Secretariat bobblehead, which I don't have the item number for you. But this was another one I picked up on a whim because me having bred and trained race horses, I thought, you know what? If it doesn't sell, I'm perfectly happy keeping this on my shelf. And who'da thunk? It is a rare piece that was given out at Belmont Park in celebration of the anniversary of, Secretariat's win or something. There's very limited edition of them, and it's worth about $100. Who knew? I already had an offer of $40 almost immediately when I listed it, and I turned it down. I'll hold out on that one a little longer, but yeah, sometimes you just got to pick stuff up, just because you gotta get a gut feeling, if it strikes an emotion in you. And for me, my emotions I get from things are going to be different than yours. I'm going to pass by things that you would pick up and vice versa, but kind of don't ignore that. Don't ignore if something is like saying, pick me up and look at me. That's what I always tell people when I go shopping with it. Is that calling you? Is it calling you? Did you pass by it and then in your head go, oh, that thing was kind of cool? Don't keep going. Go back. Pick it up. Look at it. It's probably something really good to sell. All right. How are we doing? I'm watching my time here, guys, because I'm kind of I'm looking. Sundays, I tend to load my desk up with all this stuff that I want to show you and talk to you guys about. So I kind of bury things that I need to see on my desk. So I have to look around stuff. So I have not been out thrift shopping or yard sailing or any of that. I've been good. But I cannot keep myself from buying stuff at the local auction house. Because even if I don't go, they're online. Oh, good. Lisa posted the Secretariat in there. Looks like a cheap little nodder head thing. It doesn't look like anything that would be worth $100. Crazy. Thank you. So yeah, I cannot keep myself from buying at the auction, and I need to. I have stuff out here needing to be listed. I have to stop. This is my goal this year, is to stop stockpiling stuff when I don't have the other stuff listed. So my daughter's coming out next week. I'm actually going to Southern California this week. So anybody in Southern California? Anybody? Let's see. I think there's a delay in the chat. Yeah, Ventura's a little far. Might be worth the drive. Florida, that'd be a long drive. So if anybody happens to be in Southern California next week, I am driving out on Wednesday, and I am going to the SoCal e-commerce meetup group and gonna go visit with them Wednesday night, and then I'm there until Saturday. So if anybody happens to be in the area, hit me up, send me a message, an email, something, and maybe we can get together and do a little shopping. New Jersey, I'm not coming to New Jersey till it warms up. I can guarantee you that. For sure. So then I'm bringing my daughter back with me on Saturday, and she is bound and determined to get my house into shape, and we are going to go through, and like I said, I'm going to go through all my unlisted stuff, and if it ain't worth 50 bucks, out to the yard sale pile it goes. That's just going to be a killer. The other thing I'm going to do is, if I just can't stand to put it in the yard sale pile, I'm going to bundle things. You guys watch American Pickers? Anybody American Pickers fan? Frankie of American Pickers just thinks he's the king of the bundle, but little does he know, there's some of you here in the chat I know that knew bundling way before Frankie figured out bundling. Anyway, bundling is great. Bundling is a really good thing to do to get your selling price up and not spend as much time on individual items. So I'm going to take things that I normally would maybe sell by themselves and put things into groups and lots and sets and sell them that way, and probably run them on auction and give higher value by starting them low and see where they go. Get stuff going. Yeah, so bundle. If you have stuff, that's a good seller, but say they're only worth 10 bucks a piece, but they sell consistently, put 3 or 4 of them together. Now you've got a $30 or $40 selling price. So when that ka-ching goes off on your phone, it's worth your time. So bundle. All right, so some of the things I got at the auction last week. Okay, so I'm kind of excited. Speaking of bundling, so this auction house tends to put a lot of items together because they don't want to deal in things that are going to sell for less than $25. $25 is kind of their price point. So they try to give that value in things, and they don't research. They're going by what consigners tell them and just, gut feeling. So we've got this little guy, this cookie jar. Granted, he has a little damage. Now, if he was perfect, he would sell for about $75. He's not perfect. The lid has some damage on the little ears. So what I will do with this item, this is a loss leader. I'm going to list this starting at auction at $9.95 plus shipping. So it's a $75 if it were mint piece. So I know it's going to sell. Hopefully, starting at $9.95 is going to get 2 or 3 people that know the value of it and drive it up to around 40 or 50 bucks for me. That's the goal. So that came in a lot of stuff that I paid $25 for. Now in that same lot, I also got this cool little tin. It's tin. It's pretty old. It's got a mark on the bottom. I haven't researched yet. So this came with that. And Martha, I was channeling you, I think, because I got a teapot, simply marked Japan. But I know from watching some of Martha's sales, this is going to bring $30, $40. And I got this, pretty sure this is Majolica, but it's Japan. And yes, there is some Majolica comes from Japan, but it's a nice piece. Not going to be, a killer. I'm probably going to do that one at $9.99 auction. But all this stuff came together. It's going to drive traffic, and I can't lose. The other thing I bought in a lot was I bought a bunch of rocks. So this is used as one end of a paperweight. It's got the little felts on the bottom. So this And these geodes that are matched, so I can market these as bookends. This came in the lot together. They're kind of plain. They're not your fancy geodes, but still, that's a $30, $40, $50 sale, and it'll go in a flat rate box, so not a big deal to ship. And then it had this sculpture with it, kind of a abstract mother and child, no marks, you know, so I'm just gonna do it as an abstract carved stone, and I won't spend a lot of time on these, you know, and again, I may do this at auction. Got to do a little research, see if that's feasible, but again, it's a $30, $40, $50 item. And let me just tell you, let me look at my receipt. Oh yeah, I got this also with that, this nice little slab, this agate slab with painted on ducks. Telling you, I can't help myself. So I paid, where is it? Looking at my sheet. Oh, yep, $25 for all that. Now, I got 2 lots of crystal. Now, generally, I tell you guys to stay away from clear crystal. There are certain clear crystals that you should run to. One of those is Waterford. Waterford still sells really, really well. So I bought a lot of crystal that includes this Waterford cake plate. Heavy sucker, and I don't know if you guys can really see the clarity and the quality of this crystal, but when you have quality crystal, you can really see it. It's an iridescence and clarity, you know, like a diamond. You can spend the money on that. I paid $50 for the lot that included this cake plate. The cake plate alone is going to sell for over $100, and then there was other pieces with it that can be my loss leaders. With that cake plate, I also got 7 of these. This is Rogaska crystal. Rogaska, Rogaska. I actually didn't know that it was a really good brand until I looked it up and saw 200 plus for a set of 6. So let me just see if you guys can hear this. That is good crystal, and you can feel it. I mean, it's quality. So Rogaska crystal is another one you can totally pick up and sell because it still goes crazy high. I know, isn't that a great sound? I love that sound. I also got this Waterford biscuit jar. Now this does have quite a bit of damage at the rim. So again, this is going to be a loss leader. Waterford, really, really good name. I'll probably start this at $9.95 on auction to draw people in. Now the thing is, I'm going to have all this other crystal listed first. Then I'm going to list this on auction format, draw those crystal buyers in. Even if they don't buy this, they're going to see those other pieces and potentially buy. So that's the goal there. So good quality crystal, I still will pick up. How do I sell clear crystal? The name. And it's really important with something like Waterford is to know your pattern. So make sure you figure out the pattern and list that because people do shop by particular pattern. Yeah. Yeah, biscuit jar. That's a good keyword all in itself too, huh? Yeah. All right, so let's see what else is on my desk. Oh, I see a lot of you guys pick up these wood carved animals and just call them wood carved animals. So this is a certain kind of wood. Anybody know what kind of wood? Let's see, anybody knows. It's a dark wood. It's heavy, solid. Ironwood. Yes, it is ironwood. Good job, you guys. So it's really important when you are listing these animal figurines that are carved from ironwood to put it as ironwood. And the reason being is ironwood has become a endangered species. So there's no longer cutting down the ironwood trees to make these big, and the bigger the carving, the better. I mean, the more value, because they're not allowed to cut these down anymore. It's a Mexican and Southwest predominantly wood. Now, there is a dark wood that comes out of Africa that's very similar, but generally those are going to be African sculptures. So when you see the animals, especially, the Southwest kind of animals, coyotes and quails and, cactus and all that, that's coming out of Mexico, and they cannot cut down those trees anymore to make these carvings. So it's actually becoming more and more scarce. So there are collectors of ironwood that know that the price and the value is only going to go up on these. So always say ironwood sculpture and wood carved in your titles. Can you hear? I love it. It's ringing on the cake plate I just set it on. One other thing I wanted to point out to you guys. Now, this isn't an expensive piece of crystal, but it's the shape I wanted to let you guys know about. So whenever you get a piece of glass that is in this little kind of cupped bowl, ball shape, open on the top, this is known as a rose bowl. Collectors know this shape, and it comes in different sizes. This is a small one. They can, there's all different sizes of rose bowls, but be really sure you're using the term rose bowl when you are listing any piece of glass that is in this shape. That's a very important term for glass collectors. All right. I don't know what I'll do with that. It's a cute little piece, but it's not worth much. Also, some crystal is etched on the bottom, like Waterford is got an acid etch, and you should look for that. But then other pieces of crystal, and I'm going to try to point this out to you. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I put something in it, maybe you can see it. A lot of crystal will just have a label. Let's see. I think it's going to be a failed experiment. There. Oh, yeah, look, you can see it. Da-da-da. And that is just a little label pasted on. And a lot of times that will still be on a piece. Many times it won't. But if it is, hey, if it's got a name, go with it. Anything that gives you more keywords and a name to add value. There's a lot of people out there shopping who you can, like I saw Beth say in a post over on Facebook, you can sell the sizzle. This is Illusions crystal. Ooh, sounds good, huh? I can write that up and make it sound like it's something really fancy. So if you got a name, use it. Sell the sizzle. I love that. I love that. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. Thank you, Beth, for using that term. I loved that. Ooh, put jelly beans in it. Call it an Easter bowl. Yeah, Easter's coming up. Valentine's coming up, but if you guys don't already have your Valentine's stuff up, you're missing the boat on that one. Time to start thinking about St. Patrick's Day and Easter. That's what you should already be marketing for. Yes, yes, yes. Get those Easter bunnies up. It's time. What else are we forgetting? Oh, Appsters, since I have many of you here watching, we have class tomorrow. We're going to continue our maps, our Danni maps, and keep going from there. Yeah, I know. It's going to be Monday already. Who'd have thunk? Cannot believe how quick Mondays get here. One after the other after the other. So if you guys are having trouble with any particular listing, be sure and post over at the Facebook group. We'd be happy to help you. Elise asks, when you photograph clear crystal, what color background do you use? I try to use white and work with my contrast, but then I also have a black vinyl background that I use. So I try both. So join us at the Facebook group. We help problem solve over there and figure out how to get those things sold or even listed and all that stuff. We got all kinds of tricks. Yes, George, you should have done your homework. Oh, yes, Appsters, you will get your newsletter from me tomorrow. No worries. With that, guys, if anybody is going to be in Southern California, look me up. I will be there at the SoCal Meetup Group. And again, I'll be in Tucson next month at the Tucson E-commerce Sellers Convention, and that is March 23rd. And with that, go finish watching that game. Let's see who wins, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.